This is your longest episode yet.
Oh baby, everybody, and we are back. Welcome back to Words with Wayman. I'm your host, as always, Matt Wayman. Thank you so much for tuning in. We've been on a bit of hiatus due to me being an extremely lazy person, but now we're back. We got an awesome part one, St. Louis comedian, all-around sweet boy, Mr. Patrick Trowbridge is here.
You have the best voice.
Oh, thank you. Everybody always says that. They're like, once you get material and stuff like that, they're like, we love your voice, you just need some content.
Man, when I listened to the Doug Morris episode, like the first 30 seconds of it to figure out your format, then I quit.
That's all you need.
Yeah, but I heard you do the intro and I was like, shit, I could just listen to Matt.
That's
just
awesome.
Solo.
He's the most professional intros, and then you get to the actual content and you're like, I think we're good.
Yeah, it's whatever.
Thank you for coming out and for the compliment right off the bat. I loved it and needed it.
I'm just here to bring compliments and vodka.
That's all we need. Yeah, you brought vodka, which was cool. We're drinking. It's 4:30 on a Wednesday, which is awesome.
I love it.
Just got off work.
It's my day off. This is how I do it.
I just did work, and now we're here, which I'm excited about. You're from St. Louis originally?
No, I'm from Southern Illinois.
Oh boy, what part?
A little town called Marion.
Marion.
Just outside of Carbondale with
Cool.
SIU and stuff.
Nice. So you had a decently bigger city around you.
No, I wouldn't say that.
Yeah.
I mean, Carbondale's where the very small amount of comedy was happening when I got started.
Because that's when you started shows, right? You guys ran some shows over there. You and Eric Brown, another local comedian.
Eric started about a year before me.
Okay. What year was this, just for the people out there?
I started 2012.
Cool.
5 years ago.
Nice.
May of 2012.
Yeah.
And, I mean, there were a handful of comics, and there were one or two. There were 2 mics a week.
Yeah.
And no showcases.
Yeah.
Nothing else. Just 2 mics a week. And then, a year later, all of the quote-unquote veteran comics moved to Chicago.
Really?
So it was me and Eric were the veteran guys. So him at 2 years, me at 1 year.
Yeah.
We were just well, we don't want it to stop.
Yeah.
So we kept up 2 of the mics as long as we could. We started our own mic. So we had at least 3 a week.
So you guys were hungry then, it sounds like.
Yeah. Well, Eric and I are both long form.
Yeah.
So we started our own mic at a coffee shop, which we later found out that Hannibal Buress did his own mic there.
Nice.
I didn't know he went to SIU at some point.
Yeah, I didn't either. I thought
But
he was
he
a Chicago
did.
kid.
Yeah, he was. But he came down to go to SIU, and while
Nice.
he was at SIU, he got into stand-up.
So he does that one joke about college, so that was an SIU.
That was at SIU. SIU Carbondale.
Okay.
SIUC.
He had to put his ex-girlfriend up at the mic instead of...
Yeah. It was at that same room.
Huh.
Yeah, we were in the meeting with the owner to start the show, and she was like, "You ever heard of Hannibal Buress?"
Yes.
Yeah, totally.
I've had to follow him on stage one time.
Really?
It was a nightmare. He did 25 minutes, and they're like, Matt, you want to do a spot? And I was like, sure. It was at a festival in Austin, and they're like, cool, you're going up after Buress. Do 4 minutes after he did 25.
After he crushes 25.
Oh, God. I was just trying to keep that energy going. It didn't work. You are long form. You do longer jokes. Has that always been kind of your way?
No. Well, when I first started, 2 weeks before my very first set, I was at that. It was a mixed open mic.
Mm-hmm.
They did, I think, comedy first and then music.
Nice.
Comedy for an hour, then music
That's
for an
awesome.
hour. And I went with this girl that I was trying to date.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, yeah, we'll do whatever you want. That sounds great.
Because you're the best.
Yeah, oh, you're so pretty. And then eventually there was a comic on stage. I was just sitting there bored out of my mind. And I leaned over to her and I was like, I don't want to sound like that guy, but I have to think that I would do better than this if I were to try it. And she challenged me. She was like, well, why don't you do it? And I was like, fuck.
Did you? So you got up that night?
No. I was just like, all right, I'll take a couple weeks to write some stuff, and then I'll do it. It'll be great.
Nice.
And we're so the hardest I've ever worked on stand up
Was
my
it good?
first 2 weeks. No,
Probably for the best.
it wasn't good, but it was
Better than that one guy.
better than that guy, but also good enough for my first time that it seemed like I fucking killed.
Yeah, where you got a couple laughs.
Right, well, they brought me up to like, hey, it's this guy's very first time ever. And like, I've been watching comedy my whole life. And well, I'll do a side story, then come back to that.
Yeah.
In like 5th grade, there was this day at school where you had to dress as what you wanted to be as when you grow up. And so I show up, I'm surrounded by like firefighters and cops and astronauts, and I wore a button-up and sunglasses.
Nice.
Because like, this is what a comedian is.
That's funny.
Yeah, then I let that dream die because I was like, well, you live in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, and it's
So
tough to get
move
on
on.
stage at 6th grade.
Right. Yeah, there's no spots
No.
really, when you're like 12.
It's not L.A. where they have kid mics everywhere.
Right. So like, comedy's always been like in my brain somewhere.
You've always been delusional.
I've always been an idiot.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, I guess I'll try that thing that I've always wanted to do, and
Nice.
then I'll just ignore it after I get the girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
So I go up, and the jokes are bad. One of them is so bad that Eric still makes fun of me for it.
Was
5
it just
years
shitting
later.
on women, or was it just really dark?
Neither.
Really?
Yeah. It was a whole bit about, oh god, it's embarrassing to even say.
Not too many people listen to this. You're fine.
Yeah, it's all right. I'm not concerned. I was going to see Thor with my girlfriend at the time,
Topical.
right? And being strangely attracted to Chris Hemsworth.
How could you not?
Right.
Everybody's got that I want to bang like a Ryan Gosling bit.
Right? It was like there's a scene in the first Thor movie where like Thor's on Earth with no powers and he's changed clothes, kind of. He's only wearing a pair of jeans, but they're
Nice.
low. He's got the V thing going on.
Yeah.
I was like, I kind of want to fucking blow Thor right now. Like, I want to suck Thor's dick. Like, that was the whole fucking bit. That was it.
That's great. I mean, at least it
For a
shows
first time.
promise. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not proud of it in any way.
That usually people are like 2 years in before they get that bit.
Right, yeah,
Yeah,
you got to be a couple years in before you get the, like, I might be gay joke.
Yeah. All right. I've never felt these feelings before. Ben.
Right.
He's making me feel feelings I've never felt before. Type deal.
So, yeah, I did, I don't know, 4 or 5 minutes. Like, I worked on it so hard. I rehearsed it
Nice.
alone.
Good for you.
Showed it off to, like, my roommate at the time.
Yeah. He was like, ugh.
Got on. Everybody I talked to was like, "Oh, it actually sounds like comedy." I'm
Whoa.
like, I don't know what that means.
Yeah, but I'll
cool.
take it.
Yeah. So yeah, I did the set. Brought me up as a first timer.
That's all right. That
And
always
then
helps.
like it went well for a first timer,
Nice.
which overall now I know means bad.
I moved to Denver, and for like months they brought me up as like this guy just started doing comedy, and I never told anybody anything different because I always did real well for like I was like 4 years in. Everybody's like, this guy's good. If for like a guy that just
That's a
started,
good trick. That's a great trick.
just tell everybody it's your first time
Yeah, I
for
know.
several years.
I've thought about that. Like, oh, if I move to another city, I'm going to
Yeah.
tell people I've never done it before.
No, and they're like, he is a murderer for just
It's like,
starting.
good God, this guy crushes for
I
his
do
first
not
time.
want to tell you how long I've actually been doing this for. So what then? You did it over there for a while.
Yeah, for a couple years. And then I moved to St. Louis like one time before, but the job I got paid just garbage money.
Mm.
I did it for about 7 months and couldn't, like I was working so much, I didn't have money to do anything else other than pay my bills.
Mm-hmm.
So I was doing no time on stage.
Yeah.
So I moved back home for 4 or 5 months. And then Eric actually bailed me out. He was like, hey, I've got this job that pays all right, and you can come stay with me. So I did that, and now I'm here.
That's
Now I'm
pretty
here
awesome.
again.
That's really nice of him.
Yeah, we're like really good friends,
Yeah.
I guess.
You guys are cool. You guys are. We'll just jump right into that. You guys are going to be going on the road together soon. What's that about? Your first time on the road.
Yeah,
for
my
everybody
first time
listening.
on the road. Eric's been hitting the road for, I don't know, about a year,
Yeah.
something like that. So he's made a lot of connections, and he is a good friend.
Yeah.
I'll give him a shout out. I love Eric. He's a good
Yeah,
dude.
he's great. Eric Brown, check him out.
Oh yeah, funny guy. Not as funny as me, but
That's
pretty
not-
good.
But you can't. Not everybody. It's not as easy as that. Just to be as funny as the old Patrick Trowbridge.
He the best thing he ever did for my ego. Like he doesn't drink a whole lot, but he got drunk with me one night, and he was talking about
It's
taking
like,
me.
I kind of
on,
want to blow you, right?
right? He was like, "Are you Thor?" He was talking about like taking me on the road with him. And he was like, "You know why I wanted to take you on the road?" And I was like, "I don't know, because we're friends and you're doing me a solid." He was like, "No, it's because you're funnier than me and you're gonna bury me and I'm gonna have to work harder." And I was like,
Whoa.
All right. That's just too much pressure.
Yeah.
Like, I don't.
No, I think you'll do really well on the road. You've got stories that I feel like they're very you, and like nobody else could. I mean, other people might be able to tell them, but they're very unique to your experience. I feel like, which is always good.
Well, like I really love jokey jokes
Mhm.
and setup punchline. I think it's so much fun to listen to. And
Yeah.
it's great, but I just can't do it.
Yeah. That
I'm
story about you tell the story about you getting in that car accident.
Yeah, that's my opener now.
Yeah.
I love that as my opener because it shouldn't be funny. And if you're on board with that from the beginning, then I'm
It's
fine.
intense.
Everything is going to be great from then on out.
It's
If
about
you
you
can get
getting
'em-
in like a really terrible car accident with your parents and getting thrown out the
yeah,
windshield.
when
and,
I was like 14 or 15, 2004, however old I
you
was.
lost
then.
a bunch of skin, right?
Yeah, I flew out the side window of an SUV
On the highway, right?
on the interstate. Yeah,
It's
I was asleep in
intense.
the back seat.
It's really funny though. I feel like it's just like really playful, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but it's like super simple. But it's just it's just really jokey, but it's just like really right down the middle and fun.
It's like I've always loved like the real dark shit that you can make light.
Yeah, it really is.
I grew up a big Christopher Titus fan
Mhm.
and like Dennis Leary.
A lot of people do it, I feel like, aggressively, or you can tell that it's fake.
Right.
But you're not really like gratuitous in the way that you paint the darkness. It's more of just like this kind of fun way. It's different.
That's what I like to do.
Told you this dog was going to be crazy. When Bub is in the room, we're going to kick him out real quick. Get out of here. Go to bed. Go to bed. He hasn't made an appearance on many podcasts lately because I locked him up. But I thought I'd give him a chance, and
Well,
he blew it.
he's not bothering me.
Nice.
If he's bothering you, that's it.
I
That's
just don't like to,
That's fair.
overwhelm
He
the
can-
guests.
My dog spends most of his time licking my feet, so if
Nice.
he wants to do it,
Come
then
on,
it's
Let me
whatever.
get the peanut butter out and let's learn about
Let's
each
fucking
other.
party, you know?
So, you guys are going on the road next month in July, right? Or no?
End of August.
End of August.
Yeah, we're leaving the 22nd for 9 days, 7 shows.
Just enough. That's perfect.
We're hitting like I can't remember everything.
Going south.
Like Oklahoma, Arkansas,
Nice.
Tennessee, maybe Kentucky.
Cool.
Like a whole bunch of stuff.
That's a good amount of time to go out for your first time and just kind of to be able to experience what it is. I feel like everything up to 2 weeks onto the road is great, and it's really fun, and it's new, and then after that you're like, please get me home. This is too much.
Right.
It's a
And
roller
I'm
coaster.
already starting to book my own tour at the end of October now.
Awesome. Look at you.
So like I actually have something booked in my hometown
Cool.
in Marion, like October 13th
All right.
at the Log Cabin Tavern.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, taking donations.
There we go.
So everybody needs to go to that.
You got to
shit.
start somewhere. I mean, we were talking a little bit earlier, but the times are changing a little bit, especially for comics that are based out of like cities like St. Louis, where you
Right.
kind of have to just go hit the road, build your name a little bit, do a podcast, maybe do some videos and stuff if you want.
Yeah, no, for sure. Because I'm gonna do. That's the only show that I have booked right now that isn't guaranteed money.
Okay.
Because everything else I did, I'm like, well, fuck. Because I'm quitting my job,
Whoa.
taking a lower paying job and more flexibility,
Yeah.
so I can go on the road more and do more stuff.
Do you mind saying? Can I tell them what it is?
Yeah, that's fine.
Instacart.
Yeah, Instacart.
I know a bunch of comedians up in Denver that do it, and artists and tattoo guys
Yeah.
that do it for that
I mean,
flexibility.
It's all the flexibility in the world, and it's like $11.50 an hour.
You know what?
Which here they just lowered minimum wage again.
Yeah, I
so
know. Thank you, Governor of Missouri, you jerk. They raised it, and then they're like, nah, I think we're good.
on second thought, you can all go fuck yourselves.
Let's keep it down. Let's
Like,
keep those people down.
now we have more power if everybody's in poverty. So let's just do that again.
Well, good for you for actually taking the initiative and being like, this is something that I want to do.
Well, like I
there.
figured, I'm 29. If I'm going to take a big chance like that, because like my job pays pretty well now,
Yeah.
and I could like go full time, move up, and I could do all the typical shit you're supposed to do working for like a multi-million-dollar company.
Yeah.
And I could make a lot of money, but I don't care.
Yeah.
So it's like, no, I'm going to take the lower paying job, have the flexibility, because fucking stand up is all I ever wanted to do.
So what's the dream in stand-up then? What's the end goal?
You just live off of it. I don't want like a normal job.
Do you want to write or do TV or do anything?
Maybe like I have TV show ideas
Mhm.
that it would be cool eventually, but short term, just living off stand up.
Nice.
Like
You've already done the podcast thing. You've run a couple of those for a while.
yeah, I had you can still go listen to them. Comedy
Yeah.
Brain.
Nice.
Me
What's
and Claire Critchlow was my
Oh,
co-host.
The Critch.
The Critch. She's like a licensed counselor.
Yeah.
So I took the normal format of like comics talking to comics and threw a therapist in.
Such a brilliant little idea.
I was wine drunk and I thought of that one.
You have really good podcast ideas. I was giving you credit for that earlier.
Thank you.
This is about as A to A as it gets for podcasts, but I like your little pleasurable spins on it.
Right. We did one episode. Well, we called them sessions.
Nice.
Yeah. I insisted that we called them sessions.
See, you get it.
Claire kept like just saying episode in the intro. I had her do the intros because she has a nicer voice.
Yeah,
It's
pleasant.
like, yeah, from the beginning, let's hear like the nice lady talk.
Yeah. And then we'll get this gruff, this monster in there.
Yeah. And I'll just come in and be a piece of shit. But now, yeah, I wanted to call them sessions just to go keep up with the theme.
You check that out on iTunes still? Comedy Brain?
I don't think we ever got on iTunes.
Yeah.
We've got like the Twitter and the Facebook thing.
Nice. It's just Comedy Brain for everybody out there?
Comedy Brain Podcast. If you Google Comedy Brain Podcast,
nice.
You'll find it.
Check it out.
We had a handful of sessions. We did one that I called group therapy.
Yeah.
It was like we had Stryker Spurlock and Ella Fritz. I think we had somebody else.
Local
or maybe
St. Louis comedians for people out there that don't know.
Yeah. Which was nice because we did a solo one with both of those people. And Ella talked a lot about the improv scene,
which is
and how incestuous it gets.
Yeah,
just like a lot of improv people fucking.
That's what it is. It's just like working in restaurants.
I didn't know.
Yeah, a lot of.
I had no idea.
Such a team sport that you get really close to people really quick, which is improv, which is why I find a lot of those people smashing.
Yeah.
Together. Have you ever done an improv, or do you have any interest?
I thought about it. Bobby J. Cox, another St. Louis comic.
Great guy.
I love Bobby.
Sweet boy.
Bobby's great. Bobby had me like pretty talked into doing it. I just didn't have the money to commit to it.
It's expensive. It's a thing.
Like $200 for a few weeks of training.
Like a G, yeah, to do the full thing. If you want to go through all the levels and stuff.
It's like I didn't want to do it. Well, there was also like the artistic thing about it. I was like, oh, fuck, I'm not going to do it because I want to do improv. I'm going to do it because I want to figure out if it's going to help my stand-up.
It totally helps the stand-up.
That's what Bobby was telling me. And I was like,
But you're more of a storyteller anyway, so.
Right. But I
crowd work it helps with. Coming up with punchlines on the fly, coming up with tags on the fly, stuff like that, it helps. I also think you could take the first level and never take another improv class and you'd be fine.
I've heard that. Yeah. And I was like, that might be worth 200 bones.
Well,
maybe I'll do that.
I think you're definitely good enough without it. I feel like some people can benefit more than others depending on their style of stand-up.
Right. Yeah, definitely.
So you're going on the road. What you got any other plans coming up this summer for stand-up? I know it's like you're doing the work thing and stuff like that, but that's.
I'm focusing more on the road. Because I've seen how it's helped like Eric and other people I know.
It's a smart move. So everybody always like talks about touring and thinks it's really hard to do, and it's not that hard to do.
The hardest part is getting over like the anxiety of sending messages to people you don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you just got to be nice though. That's all.
Right, and just like, hey, like I'm going to be in the area. You have a show I can hop on. I'm not super expensive. Here's a headshot. Here's a bio. Here's a video.
I'm an actual person. Yeah.
So. Which, I mean, that part isn't really that hard for me anyway.
I always loved it when I was booking shows in Denver and people come in from out of town and hit me up. It's like, you might be doing them a favor, but it's great. It's like just some fresh blood. And, I always was really appreciative when people hit me up and were like, hey, I'm going to be out there if you got something. Yeah. Here's a video.
I've got, for October, I have Marion, Illinois booked, and Terre Haute, Indiana.
Ooh, hot spot.
I'm trying to get Louisville.
Louisville's fun, yeah. I got all my buddies went to college down there. In the summer, it's kind of rough, but you can do some shows during the school year down there that are not too bad.
Yeah, I've got friends down there that I could stay with and stuff like that too, which is cool. And I love Louisville.
Yeah, for any comics out there, I guess this would be a good one just for like comics that don't know. what it's like to get on the road or how to book it. Pretty much what you do is just like he said before, you just like figure out who's running these scenes. There's all these Facebook groups that you can go into.
Like almost every city has like a Facebook
Yeah,
group.
look up Louisville stand-up,
Yep.
look up Louisville comedy or something
Yep.
like that, and then you figure out who the kind of the big players are. You email or Facebook message is mainly what I use. You like 4 or 5 guys and hit them back, and if they don't hit you back, fine. If they do hit you back, great.
Yeah.
And then you just try to book a couple days consecutively.
And never take it personally if somebody doesn't get back to you.
it's not
It's like,
you.
shit, like people are busy. You
They
know?
could be going through a tough time. You don't know what people are dealing with.
If somebody doesn't get back to you, like, you don't have to follow up
It's
with
not
something
you.
shitty.
No.
Just-
Never follow up with anything shitty. You'll
No,
get a bad
then you'll never work in that town.
No, you'll get a bad rep, and that'll stick with you for way too long.
Don't let your ego get in the way.
No, and it's like, we're 5 years in. I always said I'd never judge myself until I was like 10 years in anyway.
Right.
Which is, hopefully I'm good by then, But it's like one of these things. It's
Well,
always
you're good
changing.
now, for the
I
record.
appreciate that.
Like like not just butter in your
It's
bread.
fine.
You are one of my favorite comics in the
Oh,
city.
you stop it. There's only 7 of us, so
It still
it's a
counts.
smaller scene. It does count.
Like my girlfriend quotes you and Justin Luke the most.
Nice. Your girlfriend rules, by the way.
She's
Shout
alright.
out to her.
Hey Aubrey.
Aubrey, we respect you as a friend and also as an independent woman. We're getting down to it. These things go quick. Before I already got that outro question that I normally ask, so I'm going to throw you a different one. For people that just are starting out in comedy, because I feel like if we've been doing this a little while, if there's anything we can do to help, what advice would you give for somebody that's like just started in like a small town like you started?
You got to take a lot of initiative, especially if you're in a small town when there's not a lot going on. Chances are there's a lot of bars and stuff around
Yeah.
you. What I learned a little bit too late was that if you are in a small town area where everybody's doing the same shit all the time, you give them something new to do, and you do it like you don't even have to do it super well at first.
Yeah.
Just do it like well enough. People will come to that shit.
Nice.
Because like,
So just go to the bar owner and be like, hey, I'm starting in the stand-up thing. If you guys ever want to do like an open mic or something.
What I did, because like we had the shows in Carbondale and whatnot, and then Eric and I were kind of running a show in Marion at this like old golf course turned bar. They had like a
Swingers
great
club.
big good room. Yeah,
Yeah.
they had a lot of orgies late at night. A lot of unused rooms.
Whoa.
It was weird. It was
That
a
is
weird building.
In
It was
like
like
a
a
fun way.
like a mansion. It was a full on clubhouse for an
Cool.
old golf course. But you went up the stairs.
I
into-
nailed it. I was just kidding about the
No,
whole swinger
yeah.
thing.
It was weird. 'Cause you'd go upstairs, hang a right, and then there's the bar, and that's the only room they used.
Huh.
Like there are like 40 other rooms in this fucking place. Like there's other shit going on. That I
Yeah,
don't know
there's some
about.
nefarious activities.
Yeah.
It was
Oh, for sure.
it was a money laundering front for something.
Well, like we did that, and we'd bring in comics from out of town, like
Yeah.
usually like Champaign guys or
Nice.
Cape Girardeau guys, because that was close enough to where we
Yeah.
were. And then that eventually sank because the owner was an idiot.
Oh, I'm sure.
He would put no money behind it at all. He wanted to do the shows, but he didn't want to promote them. It's like, you run a bar nobody knows about, man. Like, put a little bit of money into a radio ad, get people
Yeah.
in, sell drinks, and then you make your money back.
That's
what are you
true.
doing?
A lot of people don't get it, and that's why those places close down.
If you are going to run a show in a bar, you got to work out like a special kind of deal.
Nice.
If you've got comics coming to do time, there's like 1 or 2 free drinks.
Yeah.
Like PBRs,
Nice.
Stag, just
Yeah.
cheap shit. Give them a couple free beers. Turn the TVs off, turn the music off, so people have to pay attention.
Nice.
That's a big one.
That's great.
Because I've done so many shitty bar shows
Yeah.
where you have like half of the crowd sitting at the bar watching TV
Yeah.
and the volume's all the way up.
Yeah, sound check is a big one too, just to make sure so you're not
Yeah.
going up halfway.
Make
and
sure your shit works.
Yeah. Bring your own
Uh,
PA if you have to.
And you can get a PA, like a little I have a portable PA that we used for
It's nice.
our like old mic that Ron Finger ruined.
Yeah, this local St. Louis comedian ruined. It was my favorite show in town at the Treehouse.
Yeah, let's not fuck them. Let's not give them a shout out.
No, don't go. Or
Never go there. No, they poison their food and they have rats.
so much poison. It tastes good, but it's like,
weird.
oh god, this poison.
It's weird to be vegan and
I
also
know.
serve poison.
It's true.
I don't
Vegan
get that.
poison.
It's like rat poison too.
At least
Like,
it's farm to table poison.
farmed it. Yeah,
That's the name of my first album.
that's pretty good. I like that.
Farm to table poison. You heard it here first.
Make time
Mm-hmm.
to write and work on stuff.
Nice.
Because if this is another mistake I made when I first started, I did that first set, and to me it went incredibly well, and I fucking killed because I didn't know any better. And then the next 8 months straight, I ate shit.
You
on
should.
Stage. Yeah, I'm glad I did now.
Yeah.
But at the time, I was like, "What the fuck am I doing?" Then for a minute, I couldn't figure out why I kept going back. And I was like,
The delusion that we talked about.
It's the delusion, and you get so addicted to it.
That high.
You're chasing, like, as soon as you have your first good
You're like,
set.
I'm king of the world.
Yeah.
Well, it's probably better that you had a good set first, because then you did go back.
I think about that all the time.
Yeah.
If I had just totally ate it, I'm just like, all right, well, I'm just going to be embarrassed around my friends for a month, and I'm never doing this again.
I've heard the opposite of that when you do really well your first time, and then you think it's easy.
Yep, that's what I did. I was like, oh, I've got this shit figured
This is
out
not
already.
hard. I'm a
a
stand-up.
fucking prodigy.
Yeah.
Nope, there are very few prodigies.
There's true. Bo Burnham, I think,
It's
is the only one. He did YouTube for years.
True. I mean, it's easily the hardest thing I've ever done, and like kept working at it. 'Cause I quit stuff all the time. But this, I was like, no, I love this.
Yeah, I feel like
even
it's
whenever it
something-
goes horribly bad, I'm like, whatever.
Still
Like I know
learn
I'm not
something.
bad at it.
Yeah.
And he's like, that set was bad.
Yeah, maybe it was the crowd, maybe it was you.
Yeah, it's usually me.
Yeah.
And then, which is better, because I can learn from that.
That's true.
And then do better next time.
Yeah. That's good. Before we get out of here, you want to give where everybody can find you at on the interwebs? If you want to plug anything, we already plugged your podcast.
I have like a Facebook page just for comedy stuff.
Nice.
But I haven't done anything with that.
You can give it if
Just
you like.
add me on Facebook. Just add
Cool.
the actual me.
Patrick Trowbridge on
It's,
Facebook.
Thing on Facebook, it's Patrick Andrew Trowbridge. I use
Patrick
my full
Andrew
name because I
Trowbridge.
like the way it looks.
Yeah, it does. It sounds good too.
Right? I
Slips
sound
off the tongue and into your brain.
right. It sounds like I matter if you use my full
does.
name, Patrick Andrew Trowbridge.
Patrick Andrew Trowbridge.
That guy's important.
Yeah, I'd bang that dude.
Yeah, like who wouldn't?
That's like the worst
Like-
way to end this book. is me saying I'd bang that dude.
Well, a couple more of these and you
Couple
can.
more of these Sky Fusion. We are drinking, for if anybody wants a good mix out there before we get out of here, Sky Fusion Blood Orange with a Dasani Lime Sparkling Water, everybody.
Last year, I discovered my favorite summer drink was like a citrus flavored vodka
Yeah.
and sparkling water.
St. Louis, you got to beat the heat.
Got to beat the heat.
Let's get drunk and
Dude.
stay hydrated.
And this is what we do in St. Louis. In the
Yeah.
Midwest, we drink.
We drink.
We have to because it's
Yeah.
bad here.
We
It's
have
a terrible,
to.
terrible place to be.
A lot of people call it alcoholism. I say this is mandatory.
It is fucking mandatory.
If you want to be part of the club, everybody, you guys are part of the club because you tuned in to Words with Wayman, everybody. That was part one. Support us on the interwebs, Facebook at Words with Wayman. Same on Twitter. Thank you so much, guys, for listening. We'll be right back with a part two with Andrew Trowbridge. Thank you so much for coming out.
You just call me Andrew Trowbridge.
Patrick Andrew Trowbridge. You should go by Andrew.
Nah, I know too many shitty Andrews.
I'm not going to edit that out. I'm leaving that in.
I love it. I love it.
Thank you guys again. We'll see you soon.